Let's go! I'm hype. You hype?
I'm hype. I'm ready.
Welcome to the Unprofessional Opinion podcast. My name is AJ. Sitting to my right, this is usually his say, but I'm gonna say it this time. My main man, 100 grand, JC. How you been, bro?
Been blessed, man.
I feel that. I've
been blessed, man.
And I understand. That's such a great feeling to just feel like you're blessed and highly favored.
Exactly.
That's a great feeling. But man, hey, so y'all, so this is a rebrand. We'll go ahead and keep it a buck. This is a rebrand. I don't know if you all have listened before. Y'all probably haven't because we didn't upload them, but we were formerly known as the Writer's Block Podcast. But we wanted to go ahead and change things up a little bit.
I mean, honestly, can we be real for a second?
Let's be real.
I got tired of explaining what Writer's Block does.
Okay. All right, that's real.
If we had to describe what we do in 2 words, it's unprofessional opinion.
I mean,
all
you're
right. We've been friends for about 5 years.
6.
We argue about things. 6.
Yeah.
We argue about things.
We argue pretty much every time we talk.
2 different points of views. And we want people
We
to
argued
have
about the name of this podcast.
multiple points of views about things.
How long do we argue about the name of the podcast? Like 2 days?
Yep. So, we're good at making opinions, but we're not professionals.
Think of us as rhythm and blues.
Think of us as rhythm and blues.
I'm all, up and hype with the rhythm, and then he comes with, that real shit that sometimes isn't necessarily pleasant, a.k.a. the blues.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Feels good.
Yes.
Sometimes might feel bad.
Yes.
But it sounds good. So.
We haven't done a podcast in 2 months.
Man, I missed you, dog. On some real G shit, bro. I missed you, bro.
Yeah, man.
I missed you.
It feels good to be missed.
Like, that's some crazy shit, bro. It's been a really long time.
It has.
So now we finna get back in this bag.
We got some catching up to do.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. Well, where we start?
Collin Kaepernick.
This nigga always got some bars about Collin Kaepernick.
Always got something to say about Collin Kaepernick.
I swear he hates Collin Kaepernick.
And I have more to say about Collin Kaepernick.
Okay.
So,
for those of y'all that don't know,
he has signed a deal with Nike to, be the face of their 30th anniversary Just Do It campaign, which is around social justice.
Right.
What is it saying? Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Mm-hmm. And he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And
what are your thoughts on it?
If I'm gonna keep it, well, we gotta go and talk about how the people went and started wilding, i.e. the white folks.
Mm-hmm.
Went and started burning their Nike apparel.
Yeah.
Talk about I can't support Nike if they're gonna support someone who doesn't care about this country,
right?
Disrespects this country.
Right.
My thoughts, for one, they still don't get it. That he has not done any of this to disrespect the country. Mm-hmm. And if we have to go back to the original point that people keep saying, he got the idea of kneeling for the pledge from veterans. Mm-hmm. They said that would be the most respectful way to protest during the national anthem. He got that from them, and yet somehow he's disrespecting them. He disrespected the people that he got the idea from. Ain't that about a bitch?
Right.
In terms of what I think overall, my main question was just how long has this been in the works? I wonder if Nike had been giving him money silently all of this time, or the whole workings of that deal, how that came to be honest. But I like it. I think it's bold. It's gonna raise some eyebrows and get people going and mad. I mean, I'm sure Nike's stock has went way up.
So are you giving Nike props for this?
Props for what?
For making Collin Kaepernick, the controversial soul that he is, the face of this campaign.
It's two-sided.
Okay.
Because on one side, it's just like, yeah, I like the fact that Collin is getting, like they're going to take Collin and give him, I guess, to me, what would look like an even bigger platform because you're going to be talking basically across all sports as, you know, someone who speaks as a spokesperson indirectly for Nike. On the other hand, it's just like they knew that the numbers would spike because he's such a famous and infamous person right now. They knew that the numbers would spike. They knew what was really good. They knew what they was doing. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about giving them props for it. I know that they making hella bank off of it though. So that's my thoughts.
Oh, just let me know when you're ready.
I mean,
just let me know when you're ready.
Is there anything else that I want to say? Also, I was wondering if, you know, the owners were upset about that. But that was like a thought in passing, really. So now what? What's go ahead, give your
so you ready?
Yeah. He better say some bullshit.
I'm sick of people like you.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of Collin Kaepernick supporters.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and get that out there. Let's back up for a second. He's an engineer.
I am an engineer.
Right? I'm a finance guy.
By trade.
Right? We both are Georgia Tech grads, so we're smart people here.
Okay.
Right? I just want to make sure that people understand where I'm going with this, and people understand where you're coming from.
I'm assuming he's about to call me dumb.
Your foundation. I'm not calling you dumb. I'm calling everybody that follows Collin Kaepernick. Everybody that supports what he has done and what he is doing. I'm calling you guys complete. It's a mix between idiot and unaware.
That's pretty dumb.
Okay?
So you calling me an idiot and unaware?
I'm saying you're closer to the unaware part than the idiot part.
Okay.
So,
well, are the people who are burning their Nike apparel also idiots and unaware?
we'll get to them.
That shit's hilarious.
Because I got a lot to say about this.
Because you know Nike already got the bag off the shoes, right?
I've been in a cave for 2 months.
Okay,
right?
He's been in a cave. He's not been in an actual cave.
Not an actual cave. I shut myself off from the world. I'm not on any social media platform.
Well, he's never been on any social media platform. He's been in a cave for about his entire life in terms of that. But.
Exactly. So I just sit there and I just take in information. I just sit with it.
Okay.
I don't have any issues with Kaepernick doing what he did in terms of the Nike deal. Get your money, Cap. I have no problem with him getting his money. I have no problem with Nike using him to get his money. I have a problem with people who follow Collin Kaepernick that you've fallen for it again.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we have to keep falling for the same thing until we wake up? And I say we, I mean y'all. I'm woke up. I'm not woke. I'm woke up.
Okay.
Right? So let's rewind here, okay? Because Collin Kaepernick, I've looked at Collin Kaepernick's Instagram account.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to look to see what, you know. I just wanted to look and see what kind of stuff he puts on there.
Okay.
It's a lot of stuff about knowing your history.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff about that type of, you know,
black, know where you're coming from.
Black African power type.
Know where you're from so you can know where you... Well, know where you've been so you can know where you're going.
And I see a lot of stuff of him at award ceremonies making the speech. And I should have wrote that speech down if I knew the Wi-Fi wasn't messed up here that I couldn't get on my computer. I would pull it up.
The speech?
Yeah, he had a quote on there like he was making a speech at an award ceremony, which is also very telling. Right. It's just weird to me how I only see Collin Kaepernick when he's accepting an award. When he's on the cover of a magazine, when he's hanging out with celebrities and the celebrities are wearing his jersey and they supporting him, but I don't see Collin Kaepernick in the field, right?
In the field, like
in the field, like I don't see him getting his hands dirty in this, right? So I wanted to pull up that quote because it sounded very political. It sounded like he went in Wikipedia discrimination and just was reading the table of contents.
That quote from the...
Yeah, it sounded like a politician wrote it. And I thought black people didn't like politicians. But that's exactly what Collin Kaepernick has become now. In terms of, he talks a good game, but he doesn't walk a good game. He doesn't walk any game at all. Right? So now Collin Kaepernick is made whole. I'm a finance guy. I look at the money. Did you see what came out about Nike?
No.
A little bit this week. Their stock is higher than it's ever been. Company history.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
Who has benefited from all this? We are now in NFL season 3 of this national anthem stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL has no idea what to do about it. There's not even a policy. They have no idea what to do about it. We're in season 3, and the only people you can show me that have benefited from it is Collin Kaepernick and the good folks at Nike. They're making bank. What is everybody else doing? The people who he took the knee for, where are they? What are they doing? How have they benefited from Collin Kaepernick?
Well,
right? You know that he donates money. I saw the little 10 for 10 campaign. I know that he's donating money, but what is that money going to do? What? Does Collin Kaepernick know? I figured if you donating something and something is succeeding, you would want to tell somebody that instead of the award you're receiving. Or the magazine cover you're on.
Okay.
Right? And I don't blame Kaepernick for that, because Kaepernick has no responsibility to black people. He has the only responsibility to himself. Get your money. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking about knowing your history and not celebrating July 4th, celebrating Juneteenth. Or whatever that ritual is.
I mean, that's not really a ritual.
Right, it's not. Actually, I still have to go to work on that day.
Like, it's
right, all Juneteenth week, I have to go to work.
I mean, it's still a pretty big day in all of American history, at least for us.
I'm sure it is, and you keep saying for us. So let's get back to the know your history. Mm-hmm. I hear that a lot from the woke people, air quotes.
What?
Know your history.
Okay.
Right? But does Collin Kaepernick and the people who follow him know their history of athletes and activism? Because if you don't, let me give you a lesson right quick. Right? When I think of athletes and activism, I think of Jim Brown. You know Jim Brown?
Yeah,
AKA...
who Jim Brown is.
Right. Arguably the greatest football player of all time.
Okay.
He goes out and he rushes for 200 yards, and then he says... And I'm doing it for everybody in the community. I think of Bill Russell.
Right.
He goes out and he takes the brunt of the racism in Boston and gives them 11 titles. You gotta love me now. It's 11 of my banners up there. I got a ring of my big toe. 11 of them.
That's disgusting.
I think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor, bitch.
The greatest scorer the NBA has ever seen.
Unstoppable.
He skyhooks you, and then he can philosophically break down what's wrong with the black community. Right? Mm-hmm. I think of everybody brings up the 68 Olympics, Tommy Smith and John Carlos. Mm-hmm. What everybody seems to forget is that one of them won gold and one of them won bronze when they did the Black Power fist. They were standing on the podium. Mm-hmm. These guys are great. Jackie Robinson, another guy. You spit on me, I win a batting title. You call me a nigga, I steal second. I don't steal. I don't hold up liquor stores. I just steal bases. I win MVP awards. These guys were all elite at their profession. So, and then they had the platform. So let's get to Collin Kaepernick. Collin Kaepernick is elite at what? He was barely the best quarterback in his own team. Collin Kaepernick has never won a quarterback competition.
Okay.
Not in college, not in the pros. Anytime somebody is even close to Collin Kaepernick in terms of talent, he loses the competition. Okay. This is who you're following. This is who we're putting up as the face of social justice. This guy isn't great.
But why is what he's doing on the football field relevant to the social justice?
I'll tell you why. Because
I understand like the history of the best athletes did it.
But what I'm saying is
you don't have to be the best athlete to believe.
And that's the issue. He's
sacrificing everything.
That's the issue. The issue is there is a standard that has been set that this is a level you must reach so that you can then reach the most people. What have I always said? If he took a knee and then he went out there and performed, how much bigger would his message be? Because that's what's been set before him. That is his history. So why do we not hold Collin Kaepernick to that standard? That's point number one of why I'm sick of these Kaepernick people.
Okay.
Point number two is now he doesn't have a day job. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it funky, as I like to say. He doesn't have a day job.
Okay.
He's had nothing but time to contemplate what is going on in the black community. Because that is now his life's goal, right? So what's his plan? Does anybody know what he thinks about? Not, you don't push your beliefs on him and say he stands for social. What does he believe? I want him to go somewhere and to explain to me what he believes. Have you heard a word from Collin Kaepernick on that?
Do you have to hear a word from Collin Kaepernick?
I mean, if I'm going to follow somebody, I need to know where I'm going. Right? You keep saying you got to know where you've been and know where you're going. Collin Kaepernick is unaware or totally dismissive of where he's been in terms of athletes and activism. So I at least want to know where he's going. Does anybody know where he's going?
Probably, he does, probably.
I just want to know what you believe in. I don't have to follow it or not.
I also wonder if he ever was if it was ever his plan to have followers in the first place. Because that may be part of it.
But that's my point. If he didn't plan to have followers in the first place, why are we following him?
Now that I don't know.
But yet we want to praise him and praise Nike for putting him in. So let's get to Nike. Great campaign, right? I mean, guys, powerful.
It did look good.
Social justice campaign.
Visually, it was appealing. But what everybody seems to forget is that that's their second one this year they did that. This year, they just did one of these. I thought the point of having a social justice campaign is so that you would, at some point, not have to do a social justice campaign. They just had one of these. You remember when LeBron wore the LeBron 15s with the black and white that are in the Smithsonian? That was also social justice. Right? Equality, social justice. If we're still doing it, that means nothing has changed. Well, it's only a year.
Nothing has changed.
You expect the whole tide to turn in 1 year?
No, I expect progress.
Okay.
Are we moving in the right direction? Because now, remember, Collin Kaepernick is not the leader of this. I'm sorry. Collin Kaepernick is not a leader of this.
Okay.
Are we moving in the right direction? We have no idea. Because the guy that we've now made the face of this doesn't have any ideas on it that he can share with us.
Or so as far as we know.
It doesn't matter what we know because we have to hold him to a standard where we have to know.
Right.
See, we're cool with imposing our beliefs on Collin Kaepernick and then saying Collin Kaepernick believes what we believe. But we don't know that. Right?
Okay.
So I'm saying as one, black people, two, Collin Kaepernick followers, why do we not hold him to that standard? That, you know what, you have all this fame and stuff. What do you actually believe about this?
I'm sure there are some places where we can find that information if we do it.
I'm sure there's not, because he doesn't say anything. He's the Kawhi Leonard of the NFL.
I would love to take some time to go and discuss that.
I would love to take some time to discuss it with him. I want him to go somewhere where everybody doesn't agree with him.
Are you inviting Collin Kaepernick to the podcast?
No, I'm not.
What? Why not?
That would give us a ton of viewers.
It would.
But I don't want to hear the politics message. I want to hear an actual message. If he doesn't want that message to be disseminated throughout our limited viewership as of right now,
right,
then that's fine. We can have a conversation off air. I just want to know what he plans on doing about this. I don't see him talking to congressmen. I don't see him talking to the people who are in positions to move or shake things the way that they want him to be shaped. Or the way that we think he wants them to be shaped. I see you at the J. Cole concert for free. Backstage passes. I can't get backstage passes. I have to pay top dollar for those.
Yeah, those would be mad expensive.
Right. But Colin Kaepernick gets them for free. So I see Colin Kaepernick I see all of the benefits of what he's doing, but I don't see the groundwork.
Mm.
Right? So then we get to Nike and people are burning up Nike stuff. I mean,
that's pretty hilarious.
That's great. You're gonna buy more Nike stuff. So let's stop with the fables. You're never buying anything Nike again.
I remember I saw it was this one person complaining on Facebook. They were just like, oh, okay, fuck Nike. I'll stick with my Converse All-Stars.
Okay.
And everyone was just like, so Converse is owned by Nike, right? And she didn't say anything else. I think she deleted the post. Yeah.
Of course she did. So now...
Also, Nike already got the bag off of those burnt things.
Right. So now we have Nick Cannon buying up a whole Nike store with the stuff to support Nike. Because Nike really needs your support right now, Nick Cannon. Nike is hurting right now. And the only thing that could save them is Nick Cannon.
I mean, hey. That's fucking hilarious.
I mean, but that's my point though. You have somebody like Nick Cannon. Wild 'N Out is a very successful show. But you too busy worrying about freestyle comedy to inform yourself on what's going on. Right? And I gotta listen to Spike Lee go on national television and say that the owners are in cahoots with Donald Trump. Remember, know your history.
Right.
Spike, do you know the history between Donald Trump and the NFL owners? The NFL owners hate Donald Trump. They've hated him for the last 30 years. And Donald Trump hates them because they wouldn't let him buy a team.
Yeah. What was that? Because of the USA? The USFL?
Right. He wanted to buy either the New York Giants or the New York Jets.
Yeah, and they wouldn't.
And they would not let him buy it. So he went and bought the USFL team, and he ran that into the ground.
Right. And still won't admit that he fucked all of it up.
Right. So they hate him so much. There is so much mutual hate that they're going to come together to stop Colin Kaepernick from getting in the league. That's what you selling me, Spike? That's what you selling me, Spike?
Well, I mean, because we've talked about this before, and you said that if the president is going to be talking, bad about the NFL teams, that's bad for business, right? We've talked about that before, and you said that on air.
Sure.
So in that sense, it could make. Yeah, I'm saying. So in that sense, it could make that would make sense because it's just like.
No.
Okay, and the NFL, what I'm saying is like the owners will reach out to maybe someone in the Trump circle because it's not like he's inaccessible.
Okay.
So maybe they reach out and just be like, look, we'll do what we need to do to get this Kaepernick character the fuck out of here if you would just stop tweeting about us.
No, but that's the thing. Somebody thinks that the owners are somehow hurting because of this. They're not. The NFL, the ratings are down a little bit. Still the most popular television show in America. Right? Less people maybe coming to the game. But hey, I think Jerry Jones does a little bit more with his life than own the Cowboys. That's what people aren't understanding. To own an NFL team, you already have to be a billionaire. Which means you already have to have multiple streams of revenue to even get in the door to own a team. They don't just give all of that up because they own the team. They still keep that.
Right. Okay.
So the owners aren't hurting. They aren't hurting enough to say, let's go make peace with our enemy. They just want Trump to shut up.
Right.
They don't care about Kaepernick.
Right.
And they never cared about Kaepernick. They just want Trump to stop talking about it so that the story can kind of heal itself.
And that goes back to what I just said. Like they're just like, we'll get Cap the fuck out of here. You just shut the fuck up.
That's why I disagree with premise one. Okay. They're not gonna get Cap out of here. That's not the part of it. They just if you shut up, the Kaepernick thing's gonna die itself because nobody wants Colin Kaepernick on their team.
Okay.
It's over. Okay. His career is over. He knows that. Everybody in the league knows that. Ain't nobody looking for Colin Kaepernick. The story was going to heal itself. The only reason that it's still a story is because Trump still speaks on it.
Mm-hmm.
Trump, shut up! You shut up, everything happens. So once again, it's the old misdirection play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all are praising the conversation being had. Kaepernick and the white folks at Nike are skipping to the loo, my darling, down the other way with mountains of cash. They're frolicking through meadows of cash with more cash. And you can't tell me one person that says, yo, if it wasn't for Collin Kaepernick's donation, my life would be X. Where is that person? I just want one.
Well, that's always been my gripe with charities, just in general. That's why whenever I make it, it'll require a lot more work. But I don't really want to go through charities and whatnot. I want to make sure that I'm giving it directly to people who need it, giving them directly the resources, and not trying to go through some third party. Just because, that you said he doesn't know, what goes on once he donates that money. No one really knows what the hell goes on, and that's with. That's not just with small charities. You can go American Red Cross, all types of big ass organizations where money is being squandered. Yeah. So yeah. Just know when we make it, we will not be giving to any of those charities. We will be giving it directly to the people. So
I hear you.
Hey.
But that's the thing, and then that leads me to an even bigger issue that's bigger than Kaepernick and Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Woke people.
Okay.
Right. What we have now, we have a bunch of generals. We have a bunch of foot soldiers trying to tell the generals what to do.
Mm-hmm.
The woke people just shut up and let the people who know what they're doing understand how to maneuver through this and improve things that need to be improved.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will go a lot smoother. Everything will go a lot smoother, right? Because what we have here is everybody is freaking. We're Pavlov's dogs, For those of y'all who don't know, Pavlov is a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Has a group of dogs.
Go ahead.
Rings a bell.
Go ahead. Give him some.
Give him a treat.
Okay.
Rings a bell. Give him a treat. Does that for a while. Then he stops giving them treats. He just rings the bell. They salivate. They get hungry. Bell, hungry, no treat. That's what social media has done to us, especially black people, but to everyone, is we get that stimulus. And it changes our focus every time we get a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was important stuff. We're like, oh, we need to look at this. Now it's...
That was only a few years ago.
And now it's just garbage. But we understand that every time the phone rings, we have to stop our attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Nike did. We just had one of these. I just told you, we had one in February. February to August.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all couldn't even wait a whole year. Or Martin Luther King Day, so January. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Y'all couldn't even wait a whole...
I feel like that was in the works a lot longer than that, though.
But what I'm saying is, everybody's on their phones, and when stuff happens, you're going to react to it. First it happened with Black Panther.
Okay.
Then now it's happening with this Kaepernick stuff. Y'all going to when are y'all going to wake up? Y'all are being hypnotized by social media. Y'all mad at Facebook for selling your data. Maybe if you didn't put it there, they wouldn't have anything to sell on you. They're a data organization. What did you think they were going to do? You put your whole life on social media and then you want to talk about privacy. But not new stimulus. Ooh, followers. Followers. I gotta get more followers now. New posts. I gotta see what's happening. I gotta see what's trending. It's programming you. Now you can't focus on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm exposed at the rest of this whole podcast. Let's talk about Kanye. Kanye's been...
Don't you miss the old Kanye?
I really don't, actually. I understand about it, but Kanye's got new albums coming out. Got a joint one with Chance. He's got his own solo thing coming out. Released a cover for it. Looks like the Yeezus artwork. with something else. I don't know what it's called.
Is it you? Wait, is it? What's that? Because it is.
I forgot what it's called.
It starts with a Y though. I forgot the name.
Excuse me.
Something. But yeah, so he's
and then Kanye come out.
Three projects coming out pretty soon.
I thought it was just 2. He said something about Watch the Throne too, but until I hear from Jay-Z, I don't trust Kanye.
And
he said he's moving back to Chicago.
Yeah, he threw out the first pitch earlier today, actually.
Mm-hmm. So he's moving back to Chicago,
or
moving
Sunday,
his kids out there.
Whenever we record this,
right?
He threw out the first pitch at the White Sox game.
Yep, Southside.
Yeah, this past Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Which is today. If we on Sunday,
September 23rd.
Yeah, on September 23rd. So yeah.
You know, he came out, apologized for the racism comment earlier in the year.
Mm-hmm.
He's calling out everybody that said they slept with Kim Kardashian. Trying to be the family man now.
Are you Drake?
Oh, we'll get Drake.
He went online.
We'll get Drake a little bit later.
He went online and was like, he was basically talking about how the fact that Drake has done nothing to deny all these rumors about, getting with Kim is I don't know, but he said it was like hurtful. I didn't watch the video. I only saw reactions and stuff about it because I don't care enough about it to go and watch it.
Right, but that's the same thing though, right? Stimulus. Oh, we got to look at it. Forget what happened in the past.
Right.
Y'all don't see that Kanye's trying to be the good guy again?
That's why me personally, it's gonna take a long string of him doing some good shit. Like really good shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Remember when nobody was gonna mess with Kanye, we weren't gonna support Kanye no more? Remember that? Then he dropped
a few months ago.
And then he dropped a hot beat, and everybody went out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we were all done with Kanye?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do remember that.
Right. Ain't nobody done with Kanye. I tried to tell you that.
I don't think I ever said that though.
I know, but
wasn't that the consensus?
Yeah,
it was a lot of people who was just like they not fucking with Kanye.
And now those same people, now Kanye got more fans than ever.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna take a nice long ass stretch.
Pavlov's dogs,
man. It's gonna be like a good maybe 5 or 6 years.
Pavlov's dogs, man. That's what we doing.
Go.
Let's talk about Eminem. Let's go ahead and get to it.
I still didn't listen to those songs.
That's fine. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back to Kaepernick and Nike. Did you do what I asked you to do? Write down the list of things that are holding me back. I didn't write them down, but I could rattle them off the top of my head. All right, just go ahead and I mean, I wanted to keep that private. I felt like that was private. Mm-hmm. But if you want to put it out there,
do we want to do that?
I mean, do you want to do it? I mean,
what are you finna read me for filth real quick?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm just saying you could just rattle off. I was just gonna look at the first 5.
I mean, we keep this off here. All
right, we'll keep it off here. But I was gonna make another point.
That has to do with Kaepernick?
It did.
Could you talk about that point a little bit?
Well, I mean, I was.
Oh, do you need?
I needed the 5.
Oh. Okay. Well, then let's do this. Fuck it. What are some things that are holding me back in terms of what it is that I
rattle them off.
Fear.
Okay. Fear of.
Failure.
Okay. That's one.
Fear of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Laziness at times.
Okay.
I already said fear of failure, I guess. What would I say is fear of failure, I guess that encompasses a lot of things. Because that working my other job, making sure I got steady income, guess, that type of shit.
So security,
there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, security.
Financial security, let's say that.
Yeah, and really perfecting my craft. And then just taking my time and dedicating my time and motivating myself to go and perfect my craft. So I guess it'd be dedication, motivation.
Okay. So those 5 things, right?
Sure.
So you know what I didn't hear?
Some of those are bigger than others.
Right.
But
you know what I didn't hear?
What? Talent?
I didn't hear that, and that would have been false.
Okay.
That I would have been really close to fighting you if you said talent. No, I wasn't gonna do it, but really close.
Like, nigga, what are you talking about?
I didn't hear because you're black and you're being discriminated against.
Okay.
That's the point, right? All this social justice stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? All of this is unfair. But when you get honest with yourself,
Mm-hmm.
everything that's holding you back, you can correct. It's another thing. You get the stimulus, you're taught, you're programmed now to think that it's automatically racist. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Our mutual friend. Then we had that conversation.
We did have that conversation with
She went to a meeting,
friend.
and because somebody didn't say anything about her idea, or she said her idea, and somebody said the exact same thing, and she felt like she didn't get her due credit. Her initial reaction was, "It's racism."
Was it racism?
No. When she had a conversation with her peoples, she addressed everything that she thought was racist, and none of it was racist.
Wait, she had a conversation with the boss?
Yes.
What?
And none of that stuff had anything to do with her being black.
Well, what did they say it had to do with?
Tangible things. Like the reason she doesn't travel by herself is because none of the property she's over requires you to do any traveling. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need to travel. So why would you travel if I don't need you to travel?
Okay.
Is that because you're a black woman?
Well, did they put her in that position because she's a black woman?
No. Like that's the point. None of it was actually. That's what I want people to understand.
What was
is
the other one? What else? What was this?
I don't.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Also off air.
There's a bunch of garbage.
Okay.
But I forget what it was, but it had nothing to do with race.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. If everybody who looks at racism and thinks that is the deterrent, that is something that's holding them back, when you really get honest with yourself, it's not. Mm-hmm. So why are we making this a big deal? Because we're programmed to make it a big deal. Mm-hmm. See, if you think that, if your initial reaction to it is, what you put out is what you get back, right? Mm-hmm. So if you think that white people control everything, and you put that out there, well, then they do. Because you letting them. Mm-hmm. They don't control nothing around this way.
That's real. That's
what I want everybody out there to get. The cap stuff and the social justice stuff is cool, but if we want to get real with ourselves, the social justice system can be exactly how we are, how it is right now, and every black person can make it. You know how? How many black people have made it? They didn't go through racism? How many rags to riches stories from black people do you need before they stop being the exception and be the rule? Mm-hmm. I only need two. If two people can start where I'm starting from and make it to where I want to go, then I can do it. I don't even need three. I don't even need three strikes. I need two.
You're the third strike.
I am the third strike. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt.
I'm the third strike.
Depending on the circumstance, that gives a whole different kind of taste.
Right.
But let's get to Eminem for a second.
What's good with him? He released Revival last year. That was last year, right? Released Revival last year by...
Y'all tore it up.
Yeah, by M standards, it was a trash album.
Y'all tore it. No, y'all was saying it was just trash. No, don't try to caveat it now. Well, y'all thought it was garbage.
Who was y'all? I told you from the get-go what I said.
All of y'all thought it was garbage. Man, I'm gonna stand for Eminem right now. Okay. All of y'all thought it was garbage. All right. So he comes out with Kamikaze.
He came out with Kamikaze.
And he addressed everybody who said it was garbage.
And then
he dissed Machine Gun Kelly, dissed Joe Budden, dissed Tyler the Creator, dissed DJ Academics, Charlemagne, everybody who really went too far with the criticism. He had something to say. And now we have multiple arguments going on. Right? Obviously, you had the Joe Budden thing, and then Joe Budden was on his podcast.
Which, I mean...
It's a great podcast, by the way.
I mean, but honestly, it was just... for only the Joe one. Only the Joe. Mm-hmm. Like... From where I'm standing, it looks like it was... I mean, pretty much like Joe has said. Like, it has only been about the business side of things. And then he's been mad all of these years because of the business side of shit. Because
of what happened with Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, because Joe Budden has always willingly admitted that he has liked M for like the rapper M.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just like, on the business side of things, like shit got fucked up, and Joe was not fucking with it. And so Joe has been very vocal about that. Then M comes with Kamikaze, and
he throws a little jab.
And he throws some jabs. And then Joe is just like, from what I'm looking, Joe is just like, oh, this was business, and now you're trying to make this personal. Mm-hmm. Well, now I'm going to get personal. Mm-hmm. And now here we are.
Okay.
Everyone else, it just seems, I mean, he was just, like Tyler, that whole, I think what he called him a faggot or something like that.
Well, see, that's...
Something along those lines.
Y'all don't listen to the words.
He
said about Tyler the Creator. Sure. He said, "Now I know why you call yourself a faggot."
Okay.
So Tyler the Creator called himself a faggot, and he says, "Oh, that's why you call yourself a faggot, because you're gay." I don't know. I don't remember the exact words.
But yeah, he came to him, came to MGK, a bunch of other folks. But that's the only one that I had anything to say about was the Joe one, because it was just like that one wasn't personal, and then it made it personal by throwing that jab. From my perspective,
right. So let me give you, because I have a very complicated perspective on this. Mm-hmm. Because Tupac is my favorite rapper.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Eminem is my second favorite rapper ever.
Okay.
You know who's third?
Who?
Guess. Joe Budden. He's my third favorite rapper. Okay. So when my second and third favorite rapper get into it, my ears are up.
Okay.
Oh, I have all of my attention.
Okay.
And, so I watched, Joe's hour-long response to Eminem on his podcast, and then,
where he pretty much explained the entire sentiment that I just explained, but in far more words.
The only thing is, when you put it in the context of the other things surrounding that, I see a whole lot of contradictions, and I hate that they took down the Everyday Struggle episodes with Joe. So I can't go back and I can't really fact check this because now they don't exist. But he said in his response that he felt like in this decade he's a better rapper than Eminem, and he felt like Eminem hasn't said anything of content wise in a decade.
Right.
And he said that, obviously he got into, what happened with Slaughterhouse and Shady Records. He felt like he had the expectation that Shady was supposed to do, Eminem himself was supposed to do XYZ. And
I think his explanation was they were supposed to come in and basically be partnered, kind of, is what it more sounded like. These are not exact words, but it's like, right, y'all gonna let us, Slaughterhouse, go into the studio, get in the lab, and do what it is that we do. We give y'all a project, and then y'all just push that out because y'all know that we some fucking gangsters on this goddamn mic.
Right.
And then that turned out not to be the case.
Right. And but it's interesting.
Except for Royce. Royce is very close with them. So
it's interesting, but he's also said some other things. Mm-hmm. But here's where I begin to pick apart what Joe said.
Okay.
So basically, we now know that what he said about the song Untouchable on Everyday Struggle was more than just I don't like the song. Mm-hmm. Right? So it wasn't Eminem that made it personal. It was Joe Budden that originally made it personal, which is why Eminem threw the shot back. Because Joe Budden basically accused Eminem of using the Black Lives Matter movement to sell a record. Mm-hmm. But then he would come back and say that it's not Eminem himself, it's the people around Eminem that was using it to sell. Right, see, you don't have the Everyday Struggle clip to go back and look.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I do remember watching that, though.
That's what he said. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, of course. So then, that criticism, like, he said it was one of the worst records he had ever heard. Mm-hmm. That's when it becomes a little more than I just don't like your songs. That's personal. That was before Kamikaze.
Right.
So who threw the first shot? Joe did. Right?
Okay.
So then we hear from Royce comes out and says what? Joe went a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
Royce is behind the scenes. Royce knows everything that was in Slaughterhouse and Shady because he was there.
On both sides.
King Crooked Eye, says what? Joe went a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
So we now know that Joe was going too far.
Mm-hmm.
So then Eminem comes back with a shot and Joe says, I don't get out of bed for a domestic violence bar. Like, I'm not responding to this by responding to it on his podcast.
Right. I mean, like, and I think his other thing, which was a very solid point, he was just like, come at me when you're not trying to get a monetary gain off of it.
Right.
Like, come off of me, like, come back when, you're not trying to push an album or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, that's a legit point.
Now, I say all of this to say, I don't think Joe was completely just left with it. I think he said a lot of things. I do think that Shady mismanaged Slaughterhouse. Mm-hmm. I do think that their worst project was Welcome to Our House under Shady.
Yep.
So he's right in that stint. And I don't even think anybody in Slaughterhouse can really disagree with it.
Right. Everybody's main gripe is
you haven't
Joe
heard anything,
just went too far.
Right. Everything, you haven't heard from Joel, obviously. But
Joel, he said shit.
Royce and Crooked are both kind of on the same thing. So then you hear a lot of stuff from Crooked Eye, who has come out, and he said a lot of things. Because
did he release a track? No, he didn't release a track.
He didn't diss. That was
bizarre.
Bizarre. But anyway, let's get out of this. Crooked Eye comes out and he says, Joe did have while Joe had expectations, Eminem did everything he said he was going to do in the contract.
Right.
And obviously him and Joe have gone kind of back and forth. And Crooked Eye says there wasn't any communication between
Joe and
the rest of the group about Joe wanting to take Slaughterhouse independent.
Right.
But I just find it interesting that nobody from Slaughterhouse is taking Joe's side on this. Like, they're all on Eminem's side. Because Crooked Eye said, hey, if he didn't like how Welcome to Our House was done, like, if you want to get out of contract, we could just give them 2 more albums. And then we get out of contract.
Right.
And like that, I mean, you could do that.
But I feel like that goes against the very fabric of who Joe Budden is. I feel like Joe Budden is not, he doesn't want to put himself in a situation where he's just going to put out some bullshit just to get out of a contract.
Right.
I mean, he respects music
rap too much,
and he respects, the art of rapping entirely too much to just put out some shit just so that we could move on to the next one.
I got you.
But he also didn't want to put together, an amazing project just to have it pick the pieces and get the hit or whatever, or get whatever it is that, they're looking for so that they can go and push it out to the masses. So honestly, it's just, all in all, it does look like it's just, a lot of miscommunication and kind of like just not meant to be.
And that's all that Crooked Eye was saying. Like, just communicate what you're feeling. And Joe says that, he went to the people at Shady and they tried to get Eminem to do something, and they said, oh, M doesn't do that. He's too big of a star. Or something like that. So I interpret it as, excuse me, as some of the requests that Joe wanted Eminem to do on behalf of Slaughterhouse never really got to Eminem.
Right.
So I'm just hearing a lot of miscommunication, one. But then let's take a step back and let's look at artists as record label owners. They don't really do a whole lot for their artists to begin with. Like, Eminem hasn't really done anything. Like, he didn't do a ton for Slaughterhouse.
No.
Didn't do a ton for Yellow Wolf or anybody else. Really, the only person that he put his arms around was kind of 50. But, I mean, 50, you didn't really need to put your arms around that.
Right. I mean, 50 was already...
50
was already on, like, all the way on when he got
Right.
linked up with him.
But let's look at, because he brought the comparison to Rick Ross and what Rick Ross has done at MMG.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Ross ain't Eminem in terms of status. So
Right.
you look at the legends of the game.
Though Rick Ross has done a lot more for his artists.
Right, but I'm saying because Rick Ross hasn't hit Eminem level status,
Mm-hmm.
that he's done a lot. That's the argument that I'm making. Because you look at
Wait, are
Jay-Z.
you saying like he's done a lot because he's not that big?
Yes.
Huh.
Because look at Jay-Z and Rock Nation. Who Jay-Z put on? What has Jay-Z done for J. Cole? He's done so much that J. Cole's record label is now somewhere else,
Mhm.
right? He's done how many songs with J. Cole?
Okay.
One. Whole career, one song.
What was that? Mr. Nice Watch?
Mr. Nice Watch,
That was a dope song.
right? J. Cole has a song on his first album and says, "Some people ask me why Jay never shouts me out." Why would he put that line there? Because Jay don't shout him out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anybody else on Rock Nation other than Beyonce? Kind of don't, right?
No, not really.
It's weird. Right?
They're probably all on title. I mean,
Right, but that's weird, right? Like,
right.
he didn't put who did Jay-Z put on other than his wife? Incentive there, huh?
And I mean, Jake, I guess.
Who did he put on?
I mean, well, because then it's also, if we're going to make that point, isn't because they're so big, like you only need that one, like, it's like, does J. Cole only need that one song and be like, oh shit, now let's go
No.
look into who this J. Cole character is, and now.
No, because J. Cole had buzz before that. Remember? He had buzz from Friday Night Lights and
Yeah,
Rumor.
but I'm saying, like, he wasn't nearly as big as what the hell he is now and what he
Right.
was after that song.
Sure, but what I'm saying is, because Jay-Z's also recording music. Like, Jay-Z is a rapper first,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like, Eminem is also doing his own thing.
Right.
So why would I expect Eminem to have the business acumen to promote his other artists?
Because it's just like.
He's at a status
Right.
where, like, I didn't have nobody support me. Let's go to Dr. Dre. Who did Dr. Dre put his arms around? Think about all the people that made it because of the Dr. Dre cosign. Who did he put his arms around? Snoop, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do for Eminem? You gave Eminem a cosign and a song.
And then M went on to do.
And then M went on to do his thing. What did he do for Game? He put Game on.
Mm-hmm.
Put Game on what? Where's the shout out for the Game? You don't. Where's the shout out for Kendrick? One song.
Yeah.
The first single. And then that's it. Like, he didn't do anything
The
else.
song. Wait. What?
Well, he was two songs. But the first
was the
song
first
was The Recipe.
Ah, yes, I remember that.
Right? He
But
gave him the cosign because Dr. Dre's all the way up there. Like,
Yeah.
Rick Ross ain't up there.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, as that artist, if you give that one shout out, everything else could go up from there because you have all you need is one.
Right, but that's for the record label. I'm talking about for the artist.
Okay.
And for the individual artist. There were more people on Aftermath than just Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Who are the other artists on Aftermath? You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dr. Dre. Like, Dr. Dre's supposed to be putting people on a pedestal so that we know who he is, who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But when you're at that level, that I don't think that they're aware of that. Like, once you get to a certain level of stardom, you get in the cocoon. Like, what has Kanye done? Who did Kanye put on?
He's done a lot of good music though.
Has he?
I mean, who is all
Who did he build from the ground up in good music?
from the ground?
Possibly Big Sean. I mean, Common was already.
Okay.
Pusha T, we had no idea who he was, right? Pusha T is going to sell drugs. He was going to sell drugs before good music. He's selling drugs now. If you listen to his music, like, we knew he was.
Okay.
I could give you an argument for Big Sean. Like, he may have put Big Sean on a bigger pedestal,
Mhm.
but he didn't for Sahai the Prince.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Sahai the Prince left. Like, people are leaving other records to go independent because they feel like they're not getting pushed enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
Okay.
like, once you get to that level, show me somebody at that tier of stardom
that's
that's
giving
putting
the
people
codes.
that's putting people on, right, giving codes.
Right. Okay.
So, that's my thing. And then the other thing is, now there's a beef between the lyricists and the content rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently people who are very lyrical and very wordplay
Mm-hmm.
are not content rappers.
I wouldn't say
And
that.
content.
I wouldn't say that overall.
And then you have the vibers, the mumble rappers.
Right. I mean, but they're you have to admit that there are definitely different pockets for lyricists and content rappers and vibers and all that shit. And some of those different pockets don't mesh. We don't hear that a lot in the music.
But see, that goes back to my thing that we're Pavlov's dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That we hear a good beat, and all of a sudden it's a vibe music. It was at some point we have to hold people to standards.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Eminem has said when he in his interview with Sway,
Mm-hmm.
4-part interview. I'm not saying you watch all 4 parts.
Did you
But-
watch all 4?
No. I watched like 3 out of 4.
Okay.
I wanted to hear what he had to say about Joe, and then after
And that was it.
I really didn't have anything else.
If y'all can hear me eating this popcorn, my bad, I was hungry.
No, it's good. Where was I going with that? Like I told you when we were talking about Eminem
Mm-hmm.
off air, the lyricists are being eliminated from rap.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem that I think a lot of these old people have with rap today.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a problem with mumble rap. Mumble rap, actually, vibe rap, whatever y'all want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
isn't anything new,
Mm-hmm.
right? Somebody go listen to Old Dirty Bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I like it raw. That's not,
Okay.
like, it's not, what they're doing isn't new. Like, they might have new techniques. Now we have auto-tune and all that stuff.
Right.
But the sing-songy, the club rap, the vibe rap, so to speak,
Yeah.
that's nothing new. But at the end of the day, when it was time to get lyrical, there was a standard set. That like, yo, if it doesn't matter what kind of rap you do, I should be able to throw a beat on it. You should be able to give me some bars.
Okay.
How many of these mumble vibe rappers can do that? None of them.
Yeah.
You throw Lil Yachty a beat on, he's not just, it has to be the right beat. He has to have the right vibe.
Right.
That's the issue.
I mean, yeah.
That is an issue.
Okay.
So forget about the content, because you have content rappers that can also be lyrical. You have lyrical rappers that have content.
Mm-hmm.
Like that meshes really well.
Yes.
But when you start bringing in these other dudes, and these dudes are running rap, that's where the problem is. And that's y'all, because y'all don't hold them to the standard of, yo, if you say you can rap, this is why I don't think Revival was ever trashed. Why I think Revival was actually a pretty good album, just kind of out of order and all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Is
that if I buy a rap album, at some point we have to talk about the ability to rap.
Okay.
So
That's
if I'm listening to a rap album and there's quality level rapping in terms of skill, then it can't be a trash album, because I'm listening to rap on a rap album.
Mm-hmm.
If you say you're a rapper and you're singing and you're not saying anything and you're not lyrical and you have no skill, it's trash. That's pop. Be pop.
Mm-hmm.
You could even be rap. You could be club rap. Like, I don't think the Migos are trash. But don't try to sit here and tell me that they're skilled. They're not.
Take off the skill. Take off the skill.
And why doesn't he get features? I was thinking about that. You have Quavo gets a lot of like solo features.
Mm-hmm.
Offset gets a lot of solo features. You never really hear Takeoff on the solo feature.
Well, that's the thing. Does he want to? That's always been my thing. That's always been my question, because he is bar none, he's the best rapper of the Migos.
Right.
And I feel like all he wants to do is just look, let's rap. Like, when it's time for me to rap, I'll rap. If you want me to come rap, I will rap. But as we talked about with the mumble rap, with the vibers,
right?
When it's time to rap, a lot of the artists that you would think of probably don't want someone who's going to come and rap. They want someone who's going to come and give them that vibe. Quavo and Offset are very good at giving that vibe.
Right.
Takeoff raps.
I get that, but that's what I'm saying. At some point, we have to hold people to a standard that you can vibe or whatever, but when it's time to rap, I need you to rap.
Okay.
Why do you think NBA players go and play the Drew League? Because you take away all of the branding and the sponsorships and all of that. At some point, if I have a 94x50 hoop with lines on it and I have 2 basketball goals and 10 people around, somebody's got a ball.
Right.
If you can ball, go to the playground and we can just hoop.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Let's just hoop.
Just hoop. That's all I want to do is just hoop.
All I want to do is hoop, 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 hoop. All right, next topic. What we got to talk about? Where we going from here? Because we didn't talk about, goddamn, 2 topics in an hour.
Lil Wayne, well, because those are the things that I probably had the most to talk about.
Lil Wayne, he did drop Carter 5. Well,
he got all of us.
Yeah, he didn't drop it on Friday like he was supposed to.
He never said he was going to drop it on Friday, but somebody had said something about the 21st of September. And everybody ran with it.
Or
he didn't say nothing.
No.
So everybody was looking for it, and then it wasn't there.
But he did drop it this weekend, didn't he?
No.
No?
Nope.
Really? Oh, shit.
He was like, don't get mad at me. I never said nothing about 21st.
Are we positive that he didn't say anything about that?
I'm positive that he never said anything about it.
We'll have to go.
Because I was looking for it on Friday.
Word. I'm gonna go. Let me go. Let me go check this.
Speaking of Young Money,
see if he ever.
So Cardi and Nicki are fighting.
LOL. This whole thing has been hilarious.
They're saying that Cardi B is over.
I mean, I could totally understand why. I mean, if this whole shit is going down and
Nicki Minaj just rooked.
Yeah.
Just rooked Cardi.
I mean,
like when you were when you were a young dude on the playground, and like you better than all the old heads, but the old heads they start getting physical with you. Mm-hmm. They start pump faking after you blocked their shot a couple times.
Right.
They start
outsmarting you.
They start hitting you with the. That's what happened. Nicki Minaj been baiting Cardi B for years. Baiting and baiting and baiting.
Ever since Bodak Yellow.
Because I believe that she said something about Cardi B's kids.
She did.
I don't know what, but I know she said something. And she sent Cardi B off, and then she tried to play the higher road.
Mm-hmm. She played the higher road at She tried to play the higher road
at Fashion Week. She played the higher road. Like she was like, "You want the smoke?" And she said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna let you make a fool out of yourself, and then I'm gonna go on the radio and blast you for making a fool out of yourself." Mm-hmm. And then my radio show is going to blow up, and my album sales are going to go up. I mean, she won.
I mean,
that beef.
Yeah.
And now Cardi looks like a ratchet person from the Bronx.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's just really unfortunate. Yeah, it's really unfortunate because. And if I would go ahead and talk about this on the other side of this, Nicki Minaj, you full of shit, bro. Like, what?
Why are we bashing Nicki? I don't know.
I'm not back because I guess this goes back to a lot of the points that you've made in the past about not, women fighting for women's rights yet not supporting women.
Yep.
How we got all of this about, Nicki Minaj saying that, she brought the female rapper back, which she did. Mm-hmm. And, like, she opened the door and all this other stuff. Yet, when an artist that comes in with some notoriety and some hype behind them, another female rapper comes in and is, taking the scene by storm, now it's a big-ass issue.
It is.
Like, I don't understand.
I mean,
if we're opening the door, I understand where she's coming from about not wanting to be replaced, but like if you open the door for them to come in and then they walk in, why are you mad that they're here?
Because you weren't supposed to walk that far in.
Oh, like what?
You were just supposed to get in the door and then work the corners. You're not supposed to come to the middle where I'm at. But that's real though. I wish that more people would just be honest and say that. That's what it is. You can come in, but you you can't stay here long, one.
Right.
And two, you can't go sit on my couch. Nobody told you to sit down.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it is. That's what going back to, camping social justice and all that stuff, because we finna get into some more stuff. If you just felt that way, if everybody that's what you want to do, like I said, when the economy's bad, nobody cares about social justice. You can go in as long as I have my stuff good, then we can talk about you.
I will confirm that Lil Wayne never at any point
Never.
said that the Carter 5 was dropping this weekend.
Never
at any point.
Does somebody want to tell me why we hate Maroon 5?
I don't know. When you sent me the topic list, I was like,
so
my first question was, we hate Maroon 5?
So the Super Bowl is in Atlanta this year.
Okay.
And you know how the Super Bowl does. They like to put out feelers. So they're saying they want Maroon 5 to do the halftime show. And everybody's like, why?
Okay, so...
And especially like the Atlanta artists led by like Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah,
they're mad.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I think my whole thing that I've been hearing was that everybody's gripe with the Super Bowl is just like they want artists who are saying that it's in Atlanta. They like everyone is saying we should have like Atlanta acts. Like everybody, right. I've heard a lot. Outkast.
No.
For the halftime show, or just Atlanta artists in general.
Yeah, But here's my thing. One, let's think about the audience here. Let's think about the finance of the situation.
I mean, well, the financial situation. You act like we can't get
let's think about the finances of the whole Super Bowl situation.
Right.
Right? Remember now, you Kaepernick supporters, y'all not watching football no more, right? That's what you told everybody. So, who is the audience that's watching on TV? Is it going to be black people? No. It's going to be white people. You're white. Why would I watch Outkast, Ludacris, Future, Migos? Why would I watch the halftime show? I wouldn't.
You would totally. I feel like you would totally watch Hey Y'all, and you would totally watch Bad and Bougie. And how many rap acts have ever done the Super Bowl? Not a whole lot of rap people do Super Bowl. They do pop R&B. So my thing is, if you telling me that Usher should do the halftime show, I'm with you. That would be dope.
Only thing is, Usher doesn't have any new music.
Okay.
So for me, I'm saying Maroon 5. Maybe I don't want to hear This Love at the halftime show. Right. Even though I think it's a great song. I really don't want to hear Moves Like Jagger. Maroon 5 does a lot of collaborations, so I get more artists. Okay. And they're white. Right?
Keep it about. They're white.
Black people, if you're not going to watch Super Bowl, why are you mad about the halftime show? You're telling the NFL and CBS that you don't support the NFL or CBS during the Super Bowl.
All right, so what about the people who still watch football but are mad about the halftime show?
I mean, I don't understand why they're mad. That's what I'm saying. Like
I'm saying like the black people that still watch football and are mad about.
Like I said, if you're telling me, don't sell me Outkast and Ludacris, sell me on Usher.
Why not Outkast and Ludacris?
How many rap acts have done a Super Bowl?
But it's Outkast. I mean, they had a diamond album.
I understand
because of white people.
I understand.
And Hey Y'all.
One, somebody has to convince me that Andre 3000 is going to come out of his cave. To do a halftime show. Okay. I would have no problem with Outkast because I'm an Outkast fan. Right. And I understand there are a lot of Outkast fans.
Everyone loves Outkast.
But let's cost-benefit analysis here. If black people support is going down and I put all niggas on there, I might lose more audience than I gain. Think about it. Finance guy. Think about it from the people who are paying to have this stuff put on. Right. And honestly, watching rap acts perform is not that exciting. I think that Outkast could make it exciting because they're Outkast.
Outkast is great live.
But if you're telling me that Jermaine Dupri is gonna come up there and sing "Welcome to Atlanta" with Ludacris, I'm not watching.
I think they like me.
Right, like it's hard to make a a rap performance like a halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember when Kendrick performed at halftime at the college football playoff?
Yeah.
That was in Atlanta?
Yeah.
I mean, Kendrick did his thing, but watching it on TV, it wasn't that appealing.
Well, I think that was also just because
It was
college football
outside.
play. Yeah, it was outside and it was cold as hell, and the nigga was out there. He was in a big ass jacket. What Michelin man jacket or some shit like that. I do remember that he was wearing like a
Right.
big ass coat.
But what
Okay, like the college football playoff. Like I don't feel like that was an event that even needed a halftime show like of any type.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
I feel like that's not something like even if you go to like for instance March Madness, like yeah they have performances and whatnot
Pre-show.
but it's all pre-show and it's not televised because
Right.
you don't need all of that. Those are for the people that's actually like there.
Right.
So if Kendrick Lamar was gonna have that performance, like either pre-show or just elsewhere, like maybe part of the college football playoff weekend.
Sure.
That would have been a lot different. But college games don't need halftime performances.
We agree.
I mean, most sporting events in general, and all of professional and amateur, don't need halftime events except for the Super Bowl.
But think about it.
They make a shit ton off of those damn commercials.
But think about it.
So,
Just go to the NBA All-Star game last year when Pharrell did his thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Watch, if you're there, that was a fire show. But if you're watching it, it doesn't seem that like rap just doesn't translate to watching it. Like I think that Kendrick could go and perform at halftime of the Super Bowl, and Kendrick has done some great performances, even at the Grammys. Like he's done some really creative performances.
I think that Grammy performance as a halftime show would be mad dope.
Right, but you gotta think about it though. You're in a stadium, and he starts doing all of that. He's only facing in one direction. So the people behind him
don't see anything.
So, is it that good of a show?
For the people back there,
on a Super Bowl stage,
right?
That's what I'm saying. So it's just, I think it's difficult because you're just standing there and just rapping,
right?
Like you have to have some very elaborate visuals. And quite honestly, I don't think Atlanta artists outside of Outkast are capable of doing something like that, where it would be appealing to watch on TV.
I think Ludacris could. I mean, because if we remember, like he would have some very entertaining videos. I feel like he could bring some of those elements to a halftime show. I don't know about Migos. I think Outkast would be.
I said other than Outkast, but I don't think you get Outkast.
Usher would be dope.
I know.
Oh wait,
Usher
we're talking about rap acts.
Like I said, I'm cool with Outkast. I just don't think you get them to do a show. I don't think Andre 3000 does it.
Okay,
like who
that's
else?
real.
Lil Bow Wow? Like who you?
He was an Atlanta act. Did he count?
I mean, he was so deaf.
Okay, I guess I could. I mean, I feel like they would have to do kind of like something that they did at One Music Fest, where it was a set called ATL Crunk Fest, essentially. And basically what it was just like taking you all through like big hits through the 2000s.
Right.
And a lot of the artists that were doing those big songs all came and did
So then I'm gonna go ahead and say one thing that would kill all of that. If Lil Jon and the East Side Boys,
the Yin Yang Twins is there.
If the Yin Yang Twins go there, I'm watching their songs. But I would be irate while watching it.
Why?
It would be something that I don't want to watch, but I can't turn away.
Why? Why would you
at the Super Bowl and they talking about to the window to the wall? Nah, son.
I feel like you could definitely because if anything we know that the Super Bowl halftime show is a spectacle. So you know that they could definitely that has a lot of potential with some of the shit that they be saying in rap songs.
Right, but that's the thing. They say the words that they have to bleep out.
That is.
Drop down my. Too loud.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid.
And all.
Silence. It's just the whole show is just a long beep.
Right.
Just
so
emergency.
It's kind of like what do you do?
I feel that.
Let's see. You want to talk about Serena versus the umpires?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Because I got more stuff for Serena too.
I mean, but so I guess for the folks that don't know, what happened was Serena was kicking ass all the way through. That was the U.S. Open.
U.S. Open.
She was kicking ass all the way through the U.S. Open, then got to the final and got that ass kicked. Midway through the second set.
Yep.
The umpire made a warning about coaching or something.
Yep. Not supposed to coach. The
during
coaches
the
in the stands are not supposed to be coaching during play, I don't think.
Right.
And they made a warning.
And they even they showed the gesture as to what caused it, and the coach just did, he literally just put his hand up and was just pushing back and forth, kind of like he was saying slow down, relax or something. And then the umpire called it, and then Serena was like, I don't cheat. Don't accuse me of cheating. I'd rather lose. And then she demanded an apology. And then something else, I forget what else happened that caused her to blow up.
Right. And, it was basically, that. And then, they went back and forth. And then she ended up being docked a point in the game.
She got docked. She blew up before the dot point or after the dot point?
I think she got docked a point. Because they were arguing with the umpire.
Right.
Docked a point, and then she blew up, and then they docked her a game. And then she ended up losing in straight sets.
Right.
And then, everybody, of course, got all mad. Serena went to the press conference and said it was a man. It would not have happened that way. And
I honestly agree.
And then...
I agree with that point, because we have definitely seen a lot worse for some niggas.
There ended up being a little cartoon of her in the Australian Gazette or whatever they call it.
Some shit down under.
And then the umpires formed a union or something.
They formed a union?
Yeah, they were like,
what?
Yo, we can't take this anymore.
Right.
Or something like that. So let me just get into Serena for a second.
Okay.
One, like I said.
Well, we're gonna address her first. Or,
I'm gonna address the whole situation first.
Okay.
One, let me just start by saying this.
Mm-hmm.
I've been very consistent about my thoughts on Serena Williams.
Which
I thought Serena should have retired 3 years ago.
Okay.
Right. I understand that she's trying to get the all-time record for majors. I don't think she needs it.
How far away is she from?
She's one major away.
Okay.
From tying it. I think she might be 2 from passing.
Mm-hmm.
I have no issue.
I will fact check you in the meantime.
I have no issue with what Serena did in terms of blowing up. Mm-hmm. Because if you put in the work that she's put in, and you're considered, you're by far the greatest women's tennis player ever,
mm-hmm.
and somebody accused you of cheating. Okay, I didn't cheat though.
Mm-hmm.
I hear what you're saying, but I didn't cheat. Right. We agree,
right.
But I didn't cheat though.
Right.
Okay. I don't blame her for having that reaction. Serena, what I blame are the Serena Williams supporters.
Serena is she is 1 from tying and 2 from having it.
Right.
Behind Margaret Court.
Yep, Margaret Court 24 majors.
Mm-hmm.
Serena's got 23.
Yep.
So, all right, my issue is with the Serena supporters.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know why we do this as a society,
mm-hmm.
but we do. We have a tendency to pick people that we like and people that we don't like. People that we like, they can never do anything wrong.
Right.
People that we don't like, everything they do wrong gets magnified.
Mm-hmm.
So I give you 3 examples. We already have the Serena example.
Okay.
Let's switch sports for a little bit. Game 4, 2016 NBA Finals.
Okay.
Right?
2016.
2016.
That's when
the 3-1 blown lead by the Warriors.
26. That was 26.
Game. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Game 4. Steph Curry is having a frustrating night.
Mm-hmm.
Gets fouls out of the game, takes his mouthpiece, throws it at the ref.
Did he throw it at the ref?
Threw it at the ref.
Are we sure he threw it at the ref?
He threw it at the ref.
At the ref.
Yes.
Because I remember watching that. I felt like he threw it at the little, what was it, the reporter stand or what's that shit?
Well, no matter. He threw it at the ref.
Why was so sure
he did hit the ref and end up hitting the owner's son. And they threw him out of the game, right? What was the reaction to that afterwards? I mean, hey, frustrated night. You know, the emotion boiled over.
It wasn't a foul. I remember that play. It wasn't a foul.
Right. Emotions boil over. You know, they just thrown Draymond out of the game that game. And, you know, it's just a frustrating night. And, you know, sometimes you just have to, it boils over. Right? No big deal. Don't do it again. But no big deal. Right? 2018 finals. Game 1. LeBron is giving everybody the business.
He was fucking everybody up that game.
The Warriors did not want anything that looked like smoke with LeBron. George Hill missed the free throw. J.R. Smith gets the rebound, has no idea what time it is. Ty Lue doesn't call timeout. When it came the next day, and that was after the block charge call.
The what?
That was called a charge on KD, but then they reversed it, called it a block.
On
KD. The possession.
Oh,
prior,
yeah.
They blew that call.
Yeah.
When it came out, everybody was like, "Oh, J.R. Smith's an idiot," right? Like, you doofus. LeBron James was just having one of the greatest finals games we'd ever seen,
right?
Ever, and you messed it up, right?
Right.
Until the full video came out.
Okay.
When LeBron James found out that they had a timeout and Ty Lue didn't call it, and he was distraught on the bench. What did everybody say then? I mean, as the leader of the team, you got to compose yourself.
Right.
You have to compose. Like, there's another 5 minutes to be played. You have to compose yourself as the leader of the team.
Right.
You can't set that tone like that, LeBron. I mean, that's why LeBron's 3-5 in the finals right there. Michael Jordan would never do that. Right? Then he goes out, he nearly breaks his hand.
Right.
Still averages 26, 8, and 8 with a broken hand. Then it was like, I mean, how can you be so mad that you almost break you're costing your team this series. Right? 3, the exact same reactions. Questionable call. Somebody does something stupid. You blow up. 2 people, we're cool with that.
2 people as in?
Serena and Steph.
Okay.
1 person, I mean, you can't react like that. LeBron. Why?
I was cool with LeBron reacting like that.
All right. So was everybody.
Yeah.
Until you saw the full video.
Oh, no, I was
you were still
like,
cool with it.
Nigga.
But.
It's like, he looked so hurt.
But.
Okay.
Because we like the story of Serena. The story of Steph. Like, let's go back. Story of Serena. Remember, she wins the Australian Open pregnant. Has the baby. Complication birth almost kills Serena during childbirth. We want that comeback story. Like, we want Serena to win so bad because then that completes our story of Serena. Like, man, like, look at how great this woman is. She's able to nearly die giving childbirth, come back and still run through these women.
Okay.
How dare this umpire do his job?
LOL.
How dare he do his job and ruin that story for us?
I really don't think that's...
How dare?
I have to disagree with that one, to be honest.
And then let's go to Steph. I'm gonna address your disagreements in a second.
Okay.
Let's go to Steph. Boy, we like that story. Steph Curry, man. He's 5'6", 106 pounds in high school. In high school.
Oh, in high school.
He gets no scholarship offers. He's not big like Russell. He's not fast like John Wall. Can't jump like LeBron. But he can shoot and he can dribble. He's just like me. He's the common man superstar. That's why we buy his medical shoes. Steph Curry 3s.
Damn, that shit's ugly. Sorry, Steph. They don't look good. They look like
how dare that referee keep calling fouls on Steph Curry when he's fouling?
That last call wasn't foul.
But the other 5 were.
The other 5 were.
Right.
The other 5 were fouls.
So if you don't do the other 5, then you're not out of the game. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
But because we like Steph so much, because we want Steph to succeed, I mean, we can understand it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we get to LeBron. It's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at him. I mean, LeBron's 6'9", 260. And he moves like that? And he jumps like that? And he's been on the cover of Sports Illustrated since he was 16? He's always just been bigger and stronger than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
He's not supposed to win this much. He has everything. How dare he surpass Michael Jordan? He's never going to surpass Michael Jordan. He can't. We're not going to allow it to.
Mm-hmm.
So now every time he loses, we just want him to lose.
Okay.
Because we like that story. We like the story of LeBron losing.
Okay.
We like the story of Steph and Serena winning.
Okay.
We want them to win, so then when they react, it's got to be somebody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you disagree with that at?
So now, I'm going back to the Serena thing, because if we're going to go back to the coach,
Mm-hmm.
and the coach is saying that everyone coaches,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean,
Cool.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
I'm not disagreeing with
I
it.
mean,
They probably
everyone
do.
coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Then we look at this umpire,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason, the only other time this umpire has actually done his job, like you
Mhm.
say, is
Right.
with the other Venus. Is with Venus
Mm-hmm.
a year prior.
So he's got a vendetta against the Williams sisters.
I'm just asking, why are you choosing now to do your why have you not always been doing your job if everyone coaches like this coach has said,
Mm-hmm.
and it's common knowledge like the coach has said? Why are you just now doing your job with these 2 incidents?
Well,
Like that's my question.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I'm not going to accuse him of anything. That has
Right.
always been my question.
right. Well,
If that's the standard, why are you just now in these 2 incidents?
Mm-hmm.
Choosing to enforce this?
Sure.
Your job.
Sure. Well, one, because I don't think the umpire's job is to look for who's coaching in the stands.
Okay.
I think he was looking and he happened to see that Serena's coach was coaching her. And he said he was coaching her.
Mm-hmm.
An umpire's job is not to be looking in the stands. It is to be looking to see whether that ball was in or out,
Mm-hmm.
to keep track of the score. So I don't think, even if it's common knowledge everybody's coaching, I don't think he's looking to say, okay, where are the coaches sitting, and let me look. Right? They probably know who the coaches are, but I don't think that they're actively looking for that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was between games, and he was looking up and saying, okay, well, he's coaching.
Okay.
So, I mean, why can't that be the case?
Like I said, that's just my question. That has always been my only question.
Right? And so, and then Serena obviously just diverts the conversation to sexism,
Mm-hmm.
which leads us right into our next topic. Let's talk about Supreme Court.
Man, that shit's crazy. What is it? Is it what's his name?
Some Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett
There we go.
Kavanaugh is
He's
been selected by President Trump to be the next Supreme Court justice, and he has to go through the process where Congress basically votes on him, and then this lady has come up a few days before the vote and says, this guy sexually assaulted me in 82.
Mm-hmm.
And we were both in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And now they want a public testimony of what happened on that night in 1982.
And she just accepted it.
Right. So they're
as of September 23rd.
Right. As of September 23rd, she's accepted.
She's accepted the public testimony.
Now,
Well,
there
it's
is
accepted to do the public
there
testimony.
is precedent for this.
Okay.
There is precedent for this.
Oh, no, we ain't rushing. I was just wondering what the time was.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas in 91,
Mm-hmm.
when he was selected by, was it Clinton?
91? No.
Or was it Bush 1?
I think it was Bush 1.
And he sexually assaulted a girl.
Wait, no. Was Bill Clinton, was he a two-term? He was two-term?
Yeah, but I think he went 92 to 2000. So it was Bush 1.
Yeah, it's Bush 1. Okay.
Clarence Thomas, he's allegedly sexually assaulted a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Anita Hill, I believe.
Okay.
And they had a testimony, and he was voted in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out why this is a big deal. This is a sexual assault thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Okay.
I mean,
that's one way to put it.
Unprofessional opinion. I don't care.
Okay.
My unprofessional opinion on this is that I do not care if he sexually assaulted this woman or not. I hope that he didn't.
Okay.
And if he did, that is a terrible thing.
But
what does that have to do with his ability to correctly interpret and uphold the Constitution? That's what we're voting on.
Mm-hmm.
We're voting on his ability to do that.
Well, did he not do that day when he did that?
Which brings me to point number 2. This happened while he was in high school.
Okay. I didn't know that it happened while they were in high school. That's
high school.
I didn't know that.
Anybody out there 25 and up that is listening to this,
mm-hmm.
do you want to be held accountable for what you did in high school? I'm going to guess that for 95% of you, the answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you didn't sexually assault somebody.
Right.
You do not want to be held accountable for the person you were in high school.
Right.
You were 18.
Probably younger.
Most likely younger. Because high school was 4 years. So there's a 75% chance he was younger than 18.
Right. Right.
In my unprofessional opinion.
Right.
I'm not holding this against his ability to interpret the Constitution.
Okay.
Now, if you think that he is unfit to interpret the Constitution, then don't vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're changing your vote, congressmen and women,
mm-hmm.
because he has allegedly sexually assaulted this woman, even if it comes out that he did sexually assault this woman, why should that change anybody's opinion? Because we're Pavlov's dogs.
Okay.
The stimulus is always sexual assault, bad. Sexual assault, bad. Sexual assault, bad. Sexual assault, bad. Alleged sexual assault, bad. We don't know if he sexually assaulted, but he used the word sexually assault, bad.
Mm-hmm.
The stimulus is now has no substance in it that anytime you hear the word sexual assault, it has to be investigated. Mm-hmm. Even if it has nothing to do with the situation.
Okay. So would it make a difference if they were grown? Like if they weren't in high school?
Yes.
It would make a difference.
I mean, I think if this happened a year ago,
right,
then I mean you're obviously not upholding the Constitution,
right,
or any federal law.
Okay.
If you're doing that,
just okay. So we're going back to the fact that
this is a 40-year-old conversation. Yes,
right.
That is my only thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, this happened 3 nights ago.
Right. Okay. That'd be a lot different. You probably would have
right, like because you know the law.
Right.
Like you can say you didn't know if you was 18.
Right.
But this is what you do for a living, and you don't know the law. Then that's an issue.
I feel okay. That's valid. I guess I could agree with that.
Going on that same accord, let's talk about Mark Cuban and Urban Meyer.
Oh man.
So Mark Cuban had an exclusive interview with ESPN. For those who don't know, the Dallas Mavericks had
men in the organization sexually assaulting women.
Right, had a culture of sexual assault. So
that Mark Cuban knew nothing about
by the CEO of the company. That's what makes it. That's the kicker. Mm-hmm. The guy that's running everything is sexually assaulting people.
The CEO of the Mavericks
was, and then they got him out of there, and they got a black woman in there, and then she's changing the culture. Mm-hmm. Mark Cuban had a sit-down interview with ESPN.
Damn, is she the first CEO, the first black female CEO
I have no
of
idea.
a sports team? Probably.
I probably should know her name, but I don't.
Right. Okay, he had an interview with ESPN,
and they asked him if he was going to apologize to the women who had been victims of sexual assault, allegedly, and he said a very non-committal response. Mm-hmm. He was like, I mean, I want to, like, he had the blanket, I want to apologize to all the women who were affected. blase, and they said, are you going to apologize to these women individually? And he did everything short
of saying no.
In my unprofessional opinion, of saying no.
Right.
I mean, he's like, I don't know the circumstances, you know,
right.
I don't have any way to get contact with him, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's kind of upset with Mark Cuban.
Right.
About that response. Now at Ohio State, Urban Meyer was suspended for 4 games.
Because of his staff.
Because you have a domestic abuse allegation between one of his coaches and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they say that Urban Meyer knew about it, didn't report it, or he said something of the sort to the public. Got huge backlash for it. They suspended him 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these situations, I side with Mark Cuban and Urban Meyer, in my unprofessional opinion.
Because they didn't know?
Well, yeah. I mean, in the Mark Cuban situation, there was a separate investigation by the NBA that said that Mark Cuban has no knowledge.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I think they were looking to suspend Cuban, wasn't
they? They were trying to pressure him into selling the team, which wasn't going to happen.
But I'm just saying, like, it was something. I read something else about
Right, they were going to fine him, have him give up a draft pick.
Yeah, or something like that. And they were just like, he wasn't involved in this in any way.
Right. So I don't understand why he should have to apologize to these women.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, not only wasn't him, but, like,
he really didn't know.
He had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, why should he be obligated to apologize? I understand, like, he's the face of the organization.
Yeah, I feel like it would just be like, I apologize on behalf of the organization.
Right, but
because it's not like you probably not gonna get the people who was doing it to apologize.
Right, but I mean, but again, like that goes back to my point. Like,
but then
why should he have to do that? Like,
but it's just like, because I'll bring this full circle. So you know how the Collin Kaepernick situation.
Yeah.
When we were talking about how, you know, some of his supporters were out wilding and doing crazy shit, and you were saying that he basically has to take responsibility for that if he's going to be the leader of that movement. Correct? We've talked about that before. And you've said that.
No, don't take it out of context.
I'm just saying. So if it's that kind of same concept, and you actually have like a full organization, and people are out doing that, do you not have to somewhat take some sort of responsibility for it, even if you didn't know about it?
Right, but let's go back to Collin Kaepernick.
Uh-huh.
What I said, because the only issue I've ever had with Collin Kaepernick is when people started using his protests for something other than what he wanted the protest to be about, I felt like he should have driven the narrative back.
Right.
Or when it became about him and not his cause.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't about Mark Cuban and his cause.
Okay.
This is about a culture that he was unaware that was happening.
Right, but it's still within his organization.
Sure, but he's not the president of the organization. He just the owner.
Okay.
Like I think it should be on
the president to do that.
Which is that black woman. I think she should do it because she is now the CEO.
Okay, that makes sense.
And going to Urban Meyer, I don't understand why Urban Meyer had to miss a minute. Why is he responsible for somebody else's marriage?
Okay.
Why is he responsible for that? Even if he knew about it.
Right.
Which I think he did. Because they said that the wives, Urban Meyer's wife and the other dude's wife, used to text each other about it. Or whatever it is.
Eesh.
You don't bring that. No, sirree. That is not my business. That is your marriage.
Damn.
If you have a relationship with somebody and y'all getting into it like that, we could talk about it. But boy, you bring that to work. That you bringing that to work. I ain't bringing that to work. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
I mean,
because then they talking about.
I kind of understand though, because just like, if you know about this type of shit, you just gonna like let it slide. Like you're okay with that type of shit happening.
I don't get involved in nobody's marriage, bro. What you doing to somebody, what you do in your marriage is none of my business. At all.
Okay.
Even if we work together.
I understand that.
Let's go back to the point. Because they're saying that, this person shouldn't be around kids. What my marriage got to do, like the wide receivers coach, who was now fired, they were like, he's like unfit to be around kids because of the domestic abuse allegation.
Mm-hmm.
What they got to do with him teaching how to run routes? Like, that's what I don't understand about the entire college sports thing. We talk about Rick Pitino, all of these people.
Well, Rick Pitino...
No, if Rick Pitino was knowingly paying players to pay, that's different.
And I believe, just for Pitino, I feel like he was knowingly doing that shit.
I feel like he was too, and that's cool. But that's not why he got suspended. He got suspended because one of his assistant coaches got strippers at the recruiting event.
Yeah.
What they got to do with Rick Pitino?
Okay.
Rick Pitino probably went to the assistant and said, "Look, we got these dudes coming in. Show them a good time."
I mean,
now, if somebody brings strippers in that conversation to show them a good time, I don't think Rick Pitino's in the room.
Right.
I think they got together. Was like, all right, what are we gonna do? We're in Louisville, Kentucky. We can't. Like, it's not like this is a huge city.
Right.
Let's get some strippers.
I
can go with that.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I understand that Rick wouldn't be there, but I mean, hey, if there's anything that we know about just the justice in any system, not just the justice system, but in any organization ever, it's always about catching somebody on something that had nothing to do with the bigger charge. Like, all the drug dealers get caught on tax evasion. All of these are like we've seen like all types of shit where it's just like you get caught in that one thing, and then that opens the floodgate for the rest of it.
Right.
So you're saying that the one thing should have to do something with the rest of it?
No, I'm saying that he was suspended for that before the whole FBI investigation even happened. Like, he would already, that was a separate suspension. Same thing with Jim Boeheim at Syracuse. Right? A couple players got paid at a charity event.
Right.
Jim Boeheim was unaware, but they say he should have been aware. And he got suspended for a couple games. It was like, why should he be aware of that?
Well, if you know that that's going to be an issue, you should be aware of that.
But how am I supposed to keep track of players getting paid at a charity event that I didn't go to?
I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. So how is somebody supposed to be responsible for something if I don't know I'm supposed to be responsible for it?
Well,
I don't think Rick Pitino knows that he's supposed to be responsible for his assistants ordering escorts.
There is no way Rick Pitino does not know that.
I can guarantee you, because I've been on an official visit. The coaches leave. The coaches show you around. Okay. Right? The head coach comes for a little bit, shows you around, talks to you for a little bit. And then they leave you alone. And you go with the players and the cool assistant coach. And y'all enjoy the college life.
Right.
None of the other coaches are there.
Oh, no, I understand that.
Right. So
I feel like the coaches know that there are things that they shouldn't do, but it's probably a situation where it's like, I'm going to go over here, and I don't know what the fuck happened over here with you and the players and the assistant coaches, because I'm in my office.
Right. So
and I need y'all to keep it that way so that I don't know anything, so that I have plausible deniability.
Right. So
that being said,
it's plausible deniability, but it's still I don't know. It's not that I don't think anything happened. It's that I didn't know what strippers was going to be the choice.
Okay.
I thought they was going to do something else. I didn't know that strippers were entering the picture.
Okay.
Just like, I don't know if he's beating his wife.
But do you know he did know through his wife and the other wife.
I don't think, but even if you talk about it, it's like, that's none of our business. Honey, stay out of that. That's exactly what I'm telling my wife. If my wife knows somebody that I work with, wife, and you bring to me that he's beating on her, you stay out of that right now. I'm not saying you lose your number because she probably needs some support during that period. But we don't know anything about this anymore.
Okay.
I'm not bringing that to the authorities. That's not my place to do that. What you do in your home is your home. It is not my home. I don't live with you. We just work together. You teach my receivers how to run these routes and you good.
Okay.
It's crazy.
I mean,
what else? What else do we want to talk about?
Damn, plausible deniability really is a real thing, man. Because I bet the coaches know, like, every coach knows that some shit be going down, like, all the time. I don't know what the fuck they be going down, but they definitely know some shit be going down.
Sure. Just like the mob bosses know that people get killed.
Right.
But they ain't never there when it happened.
Right.
So how can
they
you
didn't
know?
kill them?
Right. So, you want to talk about LeBron and Space Jam 2?
I don't have anything to say about it.
I'm not going to see it. That's the only thing I want to say about it. I'm not going to see it.
It's long overdue, and I have no reason to go see it.
I do think it's interesting that word on the street is Michael Jordan is going to be in Space Jam 2 in some capacity. Because I thought Michael didn't like LeBron.
That'll be interesting. But this should have happened, maybe 20 years ago? Not 20, maybe 10, 15 years ago?
Like 5.
Yeah.
When he went back to Cleveland and he won a title, he should have pounced on that.
Oh, if we're doing it specifically LeBron, because I've also heard a lot of talk about a lot of people think that Kobe should have been in.
No.
I mean,
Kobe can't act.
I mean, I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you really think Kobe and Buzz are going to get along?
Give me the ball. Give me the ball, Bugs.
Kobe and Lola's getting along? No, not happening.
And it doesn't matter if my team is good as long as I'm good.
You could bring the Monstars if you want.
They get these buckets.
Right. It was like,
what else?
Shout out to John Legend. He's got all of the male awards.
EGOT.
That's fire.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Yep, that's dope.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Shout out to John Legend.
So what did he get? What was the last one? What was the one that got it?
Some kind of Black Jesus play.
Was it Tony?
It was kind of like a Broadway Black Jesus play. It was supposed to be really dope.
That nigga beast.
Is Drake a pedophile? It's a weird question.
Nah, see, that shit is weird. Because what's the story? So there are two parts of this. It's one where
he's actively texting a 14-year-old about
boys. Wait, about what?
About boys. They talk about boys.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, he was actively texting, what's her name? Millie Bobby Brown.
Who is that?
I believe that's her name.
Is that the 18-year-old that he knows since he was 16?
No.
Oh, he's supposed to be dating an 18-year-old who he's known since she was 16.
Oh, no, that's not. Millie Bobby Brown was, I think, the person who he's texting.
The 14-year-old girl about boys.
And then it came out that there was some message, and she said it on air, like at some interview or something on the red carpet. And she was like, she received a text from him and him saying that he missed her so much. Or something like that.
Okay.
Then it's this other girl. I don't know her name. I
don't know her name either.
Yeah, but apparently he rented out this restaurant for this girl who is 18 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they had dinner. Allegedly, they had dinner. And he's known this girl ever since she was 16.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that looks kind of bad. Only problem with that one is I don't think she was in the same city. That the night that they said that happened, she was not there. What I don't know what city that was in. Was that in New York, L.A.?
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure she was in Texas or something like that. So she was somewhere that Drake was not. So I guess people just ran with that rumor per se.
Look, I don't care if it's a rumor or not. Unprofessional opinion, Drake. Stay away from no 18-year-olds.
Yeah, no.
I'm cool with the 14-year-old stuff. I mean, look, if you were a 14-year-old girl, who gives better relationship advice than Drake? Think about it. Where can you go get better relationship advice than
Marvin's
Drake?
room?
I think if we're talking about relationships, I don't think there are 10 people in the world who can give better advice than Drake.
10 famous people.
No, 10 people in the world.
Yeah.
In the world.
Okay.
That give better relationship advice than Drake. Drake's seen it all.
He's seen it all?
He's seen it all.
How?
I think Drake has been in every relationship experience possible, except probably a good one because he's not married. So
Okay.
he couldn't have found that one yet.
Right.
So I mean, if you having relationship issues, and you have Drake as a resource, I'm all for using it.
Okay.
Right? Because I mean,
I wonder how long they've been talking.
You know, I don't think there's anything there. But stay away from no 18.
I'm just wondering how long, like, how did that even come up to be? Like, how did that relationship even start out? How old was she when that relationship started out? Like, is this recent? Have they been talking for some years? And then this other girl with him talking with, he's known her since she was 16.
Stay away.
Yeah, that's
stay away.
That's not it, Drake. But another thing though is that what if it were to come out that he actually does, you know, like his R. Kelly vibe a little bit? Ain't shit gonna change.
No.
Nobody's canceling Drake.
Nope.
People are barely canceling R. Kelly. Nobody's canceling Drake.
That's yeah. But the only thing with R. Kelly is like,
we know that nigga's out here wilding, and people still love. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I fucking love the Chocolate Factory album. That is a classic R&B album.
The only thing, honestly, unprofessionally though.
Okay.
The only thing that I've ever liked from R. Kelly is Trapped in the Closet. I don't like anything else he's ever. I don't have.
You don't like.
I Believe I Can Fly.
You don't like Chocolate Factory at all?
I like The World's Greatest. Nope.
You don't like.
I don't like anything that he's done, other than I Believe I Can Fly, The World's Greatest, and Trapped in the Closet. On a good day, you may get me to listen to Step in the Name of Love.
Okay.
But that's it. So I ain't never rocked with R. Kelly like that.
Okay.
And then once I knew that you had 8-year-olds in the closet, that was a real thing, I hadn't watched Trapped in the Closet since.
I feel it.
It's crazy.
But yeah, like that's just Drake not gonna get canceled. Even if it all comes out to be exactly true, like nobody's canceling Drake. There's no fucking way. If we're not canceling R. Kelly, if we're not canceling Kanye West, and whoever the hell else that we've said we're gonna cancel, they're not actually canceling. What the hell makes y'all think that Drake would actually?
That goes back to my thing of standards, right?
Oh no, we agree wholeheartedly in the fact that the goalpost definitely gets moved for certain people.
Right.
So,
but think about who we're moving the goalposts for. Drake, R. Kelly, all these people. We just kind of throw their stuff to the side, but we don't do it for Supreme Court justices. With stuff that isn't, we forget to do it for presidents. Right. Trump can do whatever he want to do. Right. It was like, but. I just find it funny
that we're doing this for positions that actually matter. That we're not doing this for positions that actually matter.
Exactly.
Right.
We don't do it for the people that matter. And when we do it for stuff that doesn't matter.
Right.
That doesn't pertain to the job at hand. But hey, pray for the people. Hurricane Florence. Terrible event.
Big shout out to them. I hope everybody's good up there.
Yeah, I
hope everybody's houses are secure. Everything in North Carolina and South Carolina.
That is in North Carolina. I think it's like Lumberton. It's an island now. It's blocked off by water in all 4 directions.
Shit.
That's crazy.
Fuck.
Like inland, that's happening. Told you, it's only a matter of years, man.
Yeah.
For Miami's underwater. In my professional opinion.
Jeez.
I
hope everybody's good up in
rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate, Mac.
This would. We don't have a ton of time left. I don't want to get into this, but the Mac Miller thing really bugs me.
Why?
It makes me mad at people.
Why? Talk to him a little bit.
Because let's not mince words here, right? It's a tragedy that Mac Miller is gone. Everybody who you hear that knew Mac Miller said nothing but good things about him.
Yep.
Right?
And it wasn't just like, he was just, everybody said he was cool. Like, everybody actually had, like, a story, like an encounter. And they felt him, and they're just like, this guy's amazing. Like, we just love Mac. Everybody loved Mac.
I just don't understand why people do this, right? Mm-hmm. So now people want to talk about drug usage, and maybe we shouldn't use as many drugs recreationally, possibly. Everybody wants to talk about addiction now. Mm-hmm. How many people have to die of drug overdose? And before we get the point that you shouldn't be using drugs in any way, shape, or fashion, right? But these are the same people that want weed to be legal, right? Like, oh, okay, yeah, weed, no real side effects, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Everything that you need weed for, you can get using some other method that isn't drugs, right? Everybody has all this stuff to say about Mac Miller, about how great a person he was, but when he does his last video that I've seen from inside of a coffin, right? Nobody thought that was a hint, nothing, right? But now, what are we doing now? Starting a conversation, bringing awareness about the dangers of drug use. Have y'all not been listening?
Right.
Right? J. Cole came out on Twitter and said, look, anybody who's having a problem, call me personally. I'll help you through. Mm-hmm. Right? Remember when he came out with KOD? Everybody's like, oh, it's deep, man. Mm-hmm. It's deep. J. Cole been saying that for 4 years.
He's been saying it ever since he came out.
Yeah, that's not true. But he's been saying this for 4 years. Like, remember the last album before KOD that everybody thought was boring? When he was telling
Your Eyes Only?
Yeah, when he was telling y'all that y'all need to meditate and stop using drugs. Mm-hmm. Nobody thought to get the message. Why? Because it didn't vibe. Mm-hmm. That's my issue with you vibe niggas.
What do you vibe niggas?
That is my number one issue with you vibe niggas. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to vibe, and if you don't vibe, it's boring, but yet you miss the content. And even when you vibe to it, you still not getting the content. Because you're not holding these niggas accountable for giving you content and vibing. Mm. Y'all act like that's not possible. Y'all act like you can't vibe and be lyrical and have content. You can. But the people that do it, y'all call them boring. Y'all want to send them off. Wale does it all. Wale vibes. Mm-hmm. He's lyrical. He got content. His album sales are in the garbage.
You heard he was thinking about retiring pretty soon?
Yeah. I would bet that he does think that. Mm-hmm. Because he keeps putting out good music and y'all keep not listening to it.
Wale has just not really put out bad music at any point.
False. His first album was horrible.
What was it? Is that which
Attention Deficit?
Oh, okay.
And I love Wale. Okay. Nah, he had some work to do. Okay. After that first one.
But he did that work.
He picked it up though.
And everything else.
And he grinds. But what I'm saying is y'all would rather listen to In My Feelings and do a challenge when y'all dancing in traffic other than listen to J. Cole tell you to meditate. But then y'all want to get sad when Mac Miller dies. Mm-hmm. Every time it happened, hey, didn't Prince just die a couple years ago? Mm-hmm. What did he die from? Oh, drug overdose.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't Michael Jackson die 5 years ago? Mm-hmm. What did he die from? Drug overdose. I'm sorry, you don't want to listen to Thriller no more? Mm-hmm. Like, I get it.
Right.
When are y'all going to get it? Y'all keep trying to get together and have conversations like you shouldn't be glorifying drug use and blah, blah, blah. But you do. Mm-hmm. And you don't glorify the people who don't say that. Right? Like, Kendrick has been talking about, he was talking about more about God in 2018 with all that. Mm-hmm. But To Pimp a Butterfly, right? What was that about?
Everything.
Come home.
You're right.
Don't use that stuff. Black African, I love myself. Black African power. And then y'all get excited about it. And then something happens. Stimulus. Pavlov's dogs. It's the same thing.
That's what we're going to name this episode, Pavlov's dogs?
We probably are. The same thing over and over and over. Like, people are trying to give you the message.
Right.
But you're so worried about what it vibes like. I mean,
that's life, man.
I don't understand this.
That's where music
Everybody
is right
was
now.
so sad about Mac Miller dying.
Mm-hmm.
But yet y'all do the same things. Y'all do the same recreational drug use that killed Mac Miller. And y'all go to the club and y'all vibe to the songs that's telling you not to do drugs. You do drugs to the songs that's telling you to stop using drugs.
Right.
I was talking to my mans out in California.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out CT.
What's happening? To the big homie.
That man, he actually... No, he's not younger than you, but he's younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, stay smoking weed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he smoked weed even when he just smokes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He don't do no other wild stuff. He just smokes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, like, yo, if you just meditate, guarantee you all the stress that you feel,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why weed needs to be there. I have so much stress.
Mm-hmm.
And when I smoke, it all feels
Got
better.
your bird.
What?
Got your bird.
Right? When I burn this plant
Mm-hmm.
and I get it into my lungs, it makes me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
You could feel better without having to burn stuff in your lungs.
That's such a weird way to say that.
But that's what you're doing.
I mean, yeah.
You're putting
You can't
burnt
just
stuff
say
into
smoke.
your lungs.
You can't just say smoke. Like,
You're putting burnt stuff into your lungs. I don't know, man. I don't know how many people need to die for you to get the picture. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Demi Lovato.
she on the edge.
I mean, she damn near overdosed and killed herself.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I think Mac Miller's thing was suicide. Let's just be honest.
That's what you think.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, right? Let's say that I do recreational drugs. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
We have a party. That's how you know this is a wild scenario, because you would never find me at a party.
You're right.
We do a party. It's drugs there. You know there's drugs there. I know there's drugs there.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up the next morning, you hung over a little bit, whatever. You see I'm dead. What's your first reaction? What's your first reaction?
Well, how do I know you're dead? Because the next morning, like, if
Well, I
it's
mean,
a
like,
party, like the next morning.
Let's say
like,
you check my pulse and there's no pulse.
Oh. Okay.
What? Like, I look at you like you said, I sleep for a little bit. You let me leave for a couple hours. You come back. Man, you've been sleeping a long time. You wake me up, no movement, check my pulse, no pulse.
Right.
What's your first reaction?
Suicide. Me personally. For you. Suicide.
Okay, well.
Or OD.
Okay.
But then I know for a fact that you don't do drugs.
What would you do first, though? Like, what was the first thing that you would do? You would call 911, right?
I would cry, and then I would call.
Right.
You
wouldn't clean the house of the rest of the drugs that are in the house, right?
No.
That wouldn't be your first idea.
No.
So then why, when the 911 people get there, no trace of drugs in the house? And they said, oh, the autopsy came back. He was dead for multiple hours before they called 911. Because somebody figured out that he was dead, and they said, well, we don't want it to look like suicide.
Mm-hmm.
So let's clean the house and just say that he overdosed on this little bag of cocaine. Because that makes a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
So, but rest in peace, Mac Miller. That's crazy. Hopefully, people can learn from this and not be sad for a couple days.
Damn well people ain't gonna learn from this. Let's just keep it a buck. Ain't nobody gonna learn from this. I mean, it's not because this isn't the only issue where you got a situation where it's some shit that we keep saying over and over and over and over again, and we do nothing to actually make the changes. I mean, another area is, and if I'm going to be one of those people, the gun violence.
Yep.
Not only just with, mass shootings, like just in general, gun violence in general. Mm-hmm. Like, we've seen plenty of people die either by mass shootings or by gang violence or whatever the case may be, individual shit. We've seen that plenty of times and nothing has changed. And that's been going on probably damn near as long as the drug problem has. It's throughout history, not just in this generation. Ain't shit finna change. Nothing's gonna change. I mean, people are just gonna keep letting people do whatever the hell it is that they do, and then try to glorify them when they're gone, instead of try to make sure that we can glorify them in the right way when they're here. But that will require actual love by people and not just, some false admiration just because they're famous. So that's my quick professional opinion for the day, I guess. But
So,
yeah.
if I could leave y'all with one thing, check your program. Check what you've been conditioned to do.
And check the folks around you.
Like, when's the last time you called somebody out of the blue? Just
right.
to see how they were doing.
And not only just that, but if you're gonna check your program and make sure that you're doing the things that need to be done and saying the things that need to be said to ensure that the people that are around you that you love are not also falling, prey to the Pavlov's dogs syndrome of just constantly being stimulated and never having anything that this is me and I stand for this, instead of just being stimulated by the bell on social media or in life in general. You don't get no deeper than that. So
that being said, man, I'm JC. That's AJ.
Yeah.
We just give your unprofessional opinion, man.
That's all we got here.
Hopefully you
Never
took something from it.
We got to get better at this, though.
What?
We got to get better at shooting the podcast. We just got to get better at it.
I mean,
we'll
I
get
thought
there
this was dope.
eventually.
I thought it was a dope episode.
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like I think I got to get better or just giving more.
Exactly.
Because I was prepared and I knew everything to talk about. I just didn't really have that much to say on the stuff. So
because you couldn't match my energy there, but that's all right. We gonna change that.
That's okay.
But anyway, we gotta get up out of here. We will see y'all when we see y'all on Professional Opinion.
Damn, I can't even say our whole slogan no more.